This is John Strauman from Microsoft's Mighty South region. Today we're going to look at a use case for a financial services firm, and they're getting multiple emails a day from people interested in investing. Now, this is a use case where the person is somewhat of a new investor. They don't have a lot of knowledge about markets or the kind of products that can be invested in. And I'm going to show how by using the power of Microsoft Power Automate and our connections to OpenAI, ChatGPT, we can enable a firm to deploy an automation that will answer and actually carry on a conversation with a person requesting investment advice and take away the burden of a human having to monitor an email box all day long and progress the back and forth and information sharing to the point where a human can then step in when the time is right. So let's take a look now at this running. So I'll just say save and test. And then I'm going to say manually. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is so that we get an immediate run. And then while that's getting itself ready, here's my email. So I'm a first-time investor. I really don't know what I'm doing. I say make some investment recommendations for a first-time investor. I want a low-risk, long-term investment with a target rate of return of 5 to 7%. So I send. Okay, we got our green check marks, so we know our flow completed successfully. And from a customer point of view, let's see what we got back. So we got back a response. It says, here are some general ideas. Now I know I need to work on my formatting a little bit, but let's just read about this. It says, best low risk long-term investment is a diversified portfolio of index funds and ETFs. And examples of index funds and ETFs suitable for a low risk long-term investment include stock market fund, shares, gold shares, index funds, ETFs, and international developed markets, and high yield bonds. So now I can look at this and read all that information and think, okay, so what would I be interested in investing in? And I'm going to say bonds. So let's go back to our flow here and hit test again. And now I'm going to reply and just say, oops, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to not forward. I wanted to reply. There we go. So I'm going to say, I am interested in purchasing some bonds. Okay, pretty generic. And let's see what happens. Okay, so our flow ran successfully again, and we got a response. Now, the first thing we see is that Invest Assist Inc. is saying, hey, we don't make any guarantees about these. These are only suggestions, but we're actually starting to get some specific information. And I know, again, I got to work on my formatting, but here are some suggestions for bonds that our first-time investor can actually buy into with some information about them. So now, as a first-time investor, of course, my next question might be, well, what do I need to invest? How much can get me started? So let's hit test again, and we'll do one more reply here. And let's say, how much do I need to invest to buy into? And let's say, which one looks good? Well, let's go with Westpac Banking Corporation, subordinated bond. So I'll just copy that and put it in there. So now I'm asking, how much do I need to invest? And there we go. Okay, so flow ran successfully again, and I got back a recommendation. Westpac Banking Corporation subordinated bond has a face value. To buy in, you need to invest 50,000, I guess that's Australian dollars. It told me about the coupon rate, the maturity date, yield to maturity, and the credit rating. So there's a lot of really good information here. And from the perspective of the financial services firm, this provides tremendous value because instead of a person having to sit and monitor this email box and go back and forth, and of course, do that kind of do that kind of research. So when they got the first message, give me some ideas of things I can invest in. Someone might have to go in and research all that. Through the power of Power Automate and OpenAI, we were able to make recommendations on some good investments for a first-time investor. And then when the person wrote back and said, well, okay, I'm interested in bonds, we were able to provide some names of bonds. And then to make it even more specific, when the person said, how much do I need to invest to buy into this particular bond, we got very specific information. So at every stage, the automation and OpenAI handles these preliminary communications, and this enables humans to step in at this point and do things that only humans can do, which are nurturing and building this relationship, developing the client, and of course, they can engage the client with a very good level of knowledge of the information that's already been imparted to the client so that they're not coming in cold. They actually know what the client's been asking, and they can build on that to build a long-term profitable relationship for both the firm and the customer. So I hope you enjoyed this demonstration and look forward to more demos coming soon.